Hello again, YouTube. Late 6 Cards and Collectibles. This will officially be the last time I shoot this video. I don't know, I've shot it a couple times, just talk too much, going too long. I'm trying to keep my videos under 15 minutes. With that being said, we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to just give like my 2 cents of advice here when it comes to submitting to PSA. First off, I'm not a professional. I've sent in several hundred cards. I learned from my mistakes. I still make mistakes, which you're going to see right here, and you just don't catch everything. So I'm just going to say, set yourself up for success. If a card, you're going to send a card in, especially a lower end card, it's got any issues on it, surface issues, print lines, corners, edging, off-center, you just don't send it in. If what it boils down to, if a 9 is not going to increase the value of the card, you don't send it in. This is for ultra modern. Obviously for vintage and other cards or higher value cards, things change. But I mostly send in for bulk. I'm talking bulk submissions here. You don't want, if you get, it isn't going to get a 10, you don't send it in unless it's PC. Or a 9 could increase the value. That's the only reason. If you got a card, so, well, I think it's going to 10. Well, it's probably going to get a 9, and now it has a possibility of getting 8s. 8s are no good. 8s you might as well sell raw. But like I said, it depends on what the card is. But for bulk, this is just my opinion, and I'm not an expert, because I'm sure I'm going to get somebody to make a comment, blah, blah, blah. But I've watched tons of PSA reveal videos. So many times, guys or gals, whoever is revealing the cards, will have a blind reveal and they just get 9 and 8'd to death. Well, they did that because they did not check all the boxes when they're looking at these cards. You got to set yourself up for success, and anytime the card has any sort of little blemish, you're already in the hole. Off-centering in the hole. This one little pit on the surface, you're already in the hole. If everything else isn't perfect on the card, it's not going to tint. So, with that being said, we're just going to go through with what I have and try to keep this for under 12 minutes from now. Now, if you watch any of my other videos, I had a buddy of mine who gave me some of his cards. I went through all his cards. We're trying to get some submissions in for him, PSA style. Had this Zion out of 5. Beautiful card, probably $800 card from what I can tell. Has 3 soft corners, and there's lots of whitening on it. This is an 8 at best. So I'm not going to send it in because, you know, an 8's just not going to increase the value of the card. These 2 cards, the Mahomes got 1 soft corner, so it's a nice card. Only comp I could really find anything like this was at a 3 out of 15 BGS 9, and it was sold for $2,700. So this is out of 5 or out of 4. Sorry. So this has probably got a little more value. This is beautiful card. Otherwise, one little bit of whitening on one of the corners, so it's probably a 9. And even if it 8s, I mean, you're slabbing this thing. It's a thicker card, so there's a little bit more leeway and, you know, in pricing here with that. It's kaboom, same deal here. It's clean surface, got a little dimple on the back. I think we're good. I think it has a solid 10 candidate on this card, and this card could be worth quite a bit of money if Daniel Jones pulls his head out of his butt for 1 week. So boom. So now we're kind of getting into what I have and what I was going to submit. Re-went through the cards at least 3 or 4 times and just kept peeling it down, finding things that I missed, you know, and vice versa, and other whatever. Just finding things that I missed. So this Christopher Morel, I probably wouldn't send it because I don't think it's just would be valuable enough to send anyways, but I ended up having some service issues that I didn't notice the first time around. I will send this one in eventually, just not right now. One of the, I think a number 2 chase out of that product. This Mechie had a couple dimples, like, and then it started getting stuff on the back. No, can't do it. Garrett Mitchell, good card out of 150 blue. I have another card that same product, different player. This is a blue as well. Edging issues, and had some print lines on the back. So white on the edge. You're not gonna really pick it up in the camera, but they're there. Trust me. Pulled this. He's number 1 chase out of this product. 2022 Bowman Light. Surface blemish. It's a 6 like an eye, so right on the white. I mean, if he'd had a better auto, the world's worst auto, I think it had covered it up and I'd have been fine. Still might send it in. Not doing it right now, though. Same, talk about the Blue Crawford. Edging issues. Of course, you pull some good stuff. Pulled a ton of it. I only opened 5 of these boxes. Got 3 good number cards. I also got Roman Anthony pink, but it's got like 6,000 print lines on it, so no bueno. Edging issues. Thought about it, and then I found a little surface blemish. Once I found that surface blemish, I was like, there's no way. This card doesn't have the value. It's his SP. I don't know why that Tyrese Maxey's in there. This does not have the value. Most of these do not have the value anymore from when I... Wander, yeah. Well, yeah, I wouldn't touch Wander to the 10-foot pole right now. So, anyways, that's that. So, you know, basically these are all pulled out. For the time I was looking at them, the value was there. Yeah, I waited too long. Value went down. So no reason to send them in. I mean, for me, if the card is going to be like $70 or $80 and a 10, then if it ends up 9ing, you're just not going to break even. That's kind of where I think the sweet spot is for bulk orders. Especially if you spend $5 or $10 on a card and it 9s, that $5 or $10 card's gonna be like a $25 card. So $30 card maybe if you're lucky. So you're really looking to break even if you're gonna 9 on these cards. But you don't want to send in cards that, well, I think it's gonna 10. If you think it's gonna 10, it's probably gonna get a 9. So anyways, now we're gonna get into some of the stuff I'm gonna send in and some of the other stuff that I went through his cards, my buddy's cards to send in. So when I go through PSA cards to make an order, I can start with 200 cards and whittle it down to 20. I mean, if you're buying cards on eBay to send in the PSA, that is a terrible idea. I've gotten lucky with some of that stuff. My whole deal is I'm buying eBay, I want the card, I'm buying the card. If it's able to be sent in the PSA, a bonus. I don't expect it. Even when they say near mint or better condition or say it's in mint condition, I just don't think some people know what near mint to better condition is, and I think some people do know what it is because near mint better condition is like a PSA 7 or 8. So, I mean, there can be a lot going on a card and still get an 8. So, it's kind of... This card, Redemption, took me 10 years to get it back, but I finally got it back. Has one little small surface blemish. So I've shown this card before. This was an order I had before that I basically narrowed down half because I went back through the cards. This was a $500 card when the Redemption came back about 4 months ago. I doubt it's that expensive now, but 9 will increase the value of this card, and I do think it has a small chance of tinning. Boom. Clean, completely clean from what I can tell, from top to bottom, left to right, edges, surface. One of the cleanest cards I have ever seen, which kind of makes me wonder why the guy didn't submit it. Because you get a card like this and he's a top prospect, you wonder, well, yeah. Pulled this myself, my best color match you can get, top prospect. Pulled this out of the collector's box, and it's clean. Paper cards, really high gem rate on paper cards, especially they're centered. And it's just paper cards are just easier to gem up, just my personal opinion. Anything with Rutschman's name on it, almost good to go. Shohei, pulled this out of the same box, and also pulled out a 50 gold Shohei auto out of the same box. Greatest collector's box ever. Shohei, I don't even know if this is worth in a 10. It was clean, no issues at all. Sending it in. These 4 cards, funny, I'm probably going to keep these for the PC. They're clean, centered, all the good stuff, no surface issues. I mean, it passes the sniff test. So do these two. Of course, he had one small print line on here, a very faint one going across the middle of the card. I've sent cards in before that clean surfaces and minor issues on the back, and they've still 10, so not really worrying about it. This will be a hold. Spencer Jones will be a hold. As soon as they get called up, you pray they have an L.A. De La Cruz kind of call up. Smash it for a week. You dump the card like a hot potato and move on. Colson Montgomery, clean. Love the aqua blue, light blue, whatever this is considered. He's a first-round pick, highly touted prospect out of the White Sox. Right now, Dari doesn't have the value, but we'll see. Like the card, and any number of cards good. This spot for $20 when his base rookies, this rookie at this time, this hollow rookie was selling $45. Why was the Gem Mint 10 selling for $20? I don't know, but it does have one small little blemish here. That is it. Anything else about the card? I don't know if you can see. You can see in the camera is picking it up. One little blemish. That other thing is actually I just wiped off the card. This card's going for about $225 to $250 in PSA 10 form. He still has room to grow. His cards do. So, very much so. Even if this is 9s, I'm only in $20 on the card, 19 to grade it, a couple bucks for shipping, $40 selling eBay for $80, $90. I'm still making money. So, card is clean besides this. So, if it 8s, I still don't lose. I still break even. So, I mean, win-win. But we want a 9 and possibly a 10. Mechie's clean. Good to go. No service, no back issues, no anything. Centering was good. These 2 cards are PC. Clean surface, beautiful card. Love the green on green match. Has a couple faint print lines on the back. Probably going to 9. I'm not going into it. I already know that. I like the card. I mean, I could wait for a PSA 10 to show up, but Garrett Wilson cards are overvalued in my personal opinion. Because I can get Chris Olave cards at 50 to 75% discount. And he ain't 70, and Garrett Wilson 50 to 75% better. So, anyways, I pulled this one. The only decent thing I pulled out of Chronicles. Back centering's a little off, but we don't care about that. There's a couple, like, you can see them here. You might, this camera, get a little closer, the camera can pick them up once we zoom in. There's like some like little wax marks on there. There's a couple tiny little ones that the camera might pick them up or not. I don't know what's going on there. But these are PC. I'm pretty sure this good tin candidate, not so much there, but I just want it slabbed up. This is one of the cards I cracked. I cracked a few cards, obviously you can see, but all these cards that I cracked, minus a Gem Mint 10, I submitted myself. This one, I could not find any issues with it. So we're giving it another shot. Can't say that about the red mosaic that I popped that had some service issues that I didn't pick up on the first time around. Mistakes were made. It was a 9, which it's a 9, mint 9. I have it. I'll probably just sell it raw as soon as he has a good week. Same here. Beautiful card. Love me some JK. Beautiful card. Send it in. I was like, no way it's a 9. I was one of those guys, no way it's a 9, blah, 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 you know, because you get them guys that submit and they get a bunch of 9s and they complain about it. Well, it was a 9. It had like 2 or 3 little blemishes on the surface. Like, I get it. Maybe I'll send it back in and get re-slabbed at some point in time, but not right now. A couple CJ Strouds. I'm a Ohio State homer. Centering on this one doesn't look to be the greatest, but centering on these, I mean, top to bottom looks good. Left to right's off a little bit, so we're hoping. This is PC. I'm not trying to flip. If I'm trying to flip, I want 10s. There's no sending cards in with blemishes or praying to the PSA bulk gods that they're just gonna give me a 10 to give me a 10. So yeah, we're gonna send those in. Bought these dirt. I pulled this one, got this one for like $10 on the cheap, and so before draft night, I bought a bunch of Mechis. For dirt cheap. Didn't spend more than, so I spent 25 on this Mechi, but didn't spend more than 15 on any other ones I had. And there's other ones that I end up going through and re-pulling out because I've had to thin this down several times. We're kind of going to speed up the pace here. These are all my buddies' cards that if you watched my other video, you saw some of these I don't think are going to 10, but he wanted me to go and send them in anyways just to, you know, have them slabbed up. The Shoheis are all money. The Cunha's got a very small print line. The Trout, 9 probably. It's just an older card. This one has a couple of has a soft corner, so but it's cracked ice. Beautiful card. 101 Kyler. This card raw last sale was like $130 for the Bosa brothers. Beautiful cards for him. Sending them in, and I went through probably 150 of his cards and whittled it down to, like, as you can see, like there's only probably 6 or 7 of these are 10 candidates. I have everything I looked through as cards. That's how hard it is to find cards to 10. Now I've been kind of talking about some of the stuff that I didn't send in, which I did because this didn't have the value. We talked about this. This stuff didn't have the value, and I was looking for that Justin Fields red mosaic real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I mean, this thing's going for $250. This is a hobby only. And when I was like, it's one of those deals. It's like I'm like those guys on the other. I know this is the 10. This card was so clean. Blah, 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 blah. Well, it wasn't so clean. It had some issues going on up here, right around the helmet, that somehow I didn't pick up on the first time around. Mistakes were made. I should have. I don't know how I didn't see it. Because as soon as I pulled it out of the case, I saw it immediately. So I don't know how I missed it the first time around. But this stuff happens. You just miss it. That's what you can only be thorough. I don't know how many times I probably looked at this card before I sent it in, but hey, I missed. It is what it is, you know. Make mistakes. So I guess at the end of the day, only thing you can do is set yourself up for success. I'm a budget baller. I send a lot of bulk in for the most part. Very seldom send higher end cards in because I don't have a ton of higher end cards. And if I do, I just buy them in a PSA 10 because I don't want to risk buying a $500 raw card and it's a 6. So, you know, we just buy them graded already if I'm going that route. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, set yourself up for success. Bulk, if the issues start compounding on the card, you probably shouldn't send it in, right? So, I mean, it's not rocket science, and a lot of this is subjective. You might catch a guy on a bad day, you might catch a guy on a good day who's grading your cards. You just never know. But the thing is, you just you want to have the least amount of things going on with the card that can prevent you from getting a 10. Like I said, I'm also not an expert. So I'm not a PSA expert. I've submitted a few hundred cards, maybe 250 to 300 cards. I have a really high gem rate on the ultra modern cards. And if you've watched my videos, you can see I've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 submissions I got on my channel that I've opened live or not. They weren't blind because I always look, so I can't not look. So that I've opened. But I'm not a professional. I know someone's gonna probably make a comment about it. It is what it is. Have I gotten lucky? Probably some little bit of luck, but the more cards I submit, the more cards I've gone through, the process has gotten easier, and I feel truly that I've gotten better at it. So, Anyways, with that being said, we're going to wrap this up, and I pray I kept it under 15 minutes. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it'll be in the description. Late Stick out.